McGee's coming over, dude.
Cecil McGee ain't coming over today.
Yeah, hey,
okay?
He has a big four-wheel drive truck, dude.
You're on my way here. I'm trying to show. Come here a bit, bud. I'm trying to show people how to do this, and you're talking over me, Lucci. Again.
Okay, hey.
What am I doing here, bud? Can you tell everybody what's going on?
Yeah.
Since you're Mr. Big Mouth today, tell us. What's that? What is that with a handle?
That's the top and the bottom.
What is that with a handle on it?
That's the.
You don't even know. Okay, what is it? Why am I doing that? I'm doing that because of that. Okay, Lucci?
Right.
Now, go back to work, bud, so I can show these people.
You're doing it because you're making it nice, dude.
Welcome to D.I.Y. Automotive School with my friend Pete and Minnie, the body shop girl. It's everything you need to know about cars and more.
Okay, what we're doing here is that is where the original speaker hole was in the vehicle. The owner decided that he didn't want the speaker hole there. He wanted a nice flat flush dash. Now he is going to keep the defroster vents in there. We're going to go ahead and keep those in there because we're going to put modernized AC heat in the vehicle. But he didn't want the speaker on there. He wants the dashboard to be flat across. So what I'm doing is I went ahead and cut that out. Let me get that back out of here. This is the old speaker grill that's molded into the truck dash itself. And another reason we're changing this, if you look right here, you can see where there were some dented ones. See this one right here is all dented up. And there's another one right there. And it's pretty much impossible to straighten those out. You can straighten them out, you can get up inside there, you can hammer and dolly them out and make them straight. But since we're going custom with this and not factory original, we opted out to straightening these, and we're going to go ahead and fill it in. So the first thing I did, I took my cutting wheel, if you look right here, and I went ahead and I cut those out. Now when I cut those out, I went right along the edge of where they were, and I came down and cut it out. That way we got us a nice, clean, square hole to work with. Then what I did, I took my sheet metal, and I had Lucky Lucci. Yeah, Lucky Lucci. I had Lucky Lucci hold that down on the hole, just like so, right there. I had him hold it down on there, and I went up underneath and I traced that out. I took my plasma cutter, and if you don't have a plasma cutter, you can use a cutting wheel, for instance, or use an air saw, or maybe a jigsaw if you have one. And I went ahead and cut that out right on the outside of the line that I traced, because we know that the hole was on this side of it, so we got to cut it on the outside line to make it fit in there. Is it going to fit in there perfect? We don't know. We might have to trim that up. I went ahead and took a piece of scrap steel. I bent it to make a handle. That way I can control it and hold it where I need it to be while I tack it in there. Now the situation is that we're not just, I'm not showing you how to weld this in. I'm not showing you how to fill the hole in, because we already know how to do that. What I am showing you though is how to save you time, because let me explain it. This is the kicker of this video set. Okay? This is on the inside of the car. This is not on the outside of the car. So welding this up does not touch any type of outside atmosphere at all. Do you understand what I'm saying? And what I'm trying to tell you is that we want to keep this panel as straight as possible without warping it. So what we're going to do is we are going to go ahead and set that in there. We're going to get it where it fits perfect. And we're going to go ahead and spot weld that all the way around. We're not going to go ahead and weld it like we usually do, like if it was a patch panel. Because once again, this is on the inside. And what that's going to do, that's going to create a nice solid surface that's not warped or bent in any way. And when we put our filler on it, it's going to let us use minimal filler to fill that in. So basically what this is about is learning how to take a filler panel and just spot weld it in good enough so we can use our filler, Bondo, whatever, to patch that up and be done with it. As simple as that. To give you a better idea of what's going on here, this is where our original air conditioner controls were, right in this area. And what I did, I cut a panel out to fit in there, and then I went ahead and spot welded. If you look real close, you can see the spot welds that I used to go around it. What that did, and then of course I came back and I grind them down. Now what that did, that kept this panel that I replaced in here, this is our patch panel of course, being the patch panel in the middle, and what that did, it kept the panel from warping and twisting, and also kept our dash nice and smooth. So it eliminates the amount of, what can we say, filler Bondo that we are going to use on this. Now the application that we put here, this is called D.I.Y. This has a fiberglass substance in it, which is a very hard filler, and that's what we're going to use on it first to fill everything in. Then we come back and put our finish filler, which would be the Bondo or the Evercoat, to finish the job out. And I don't know if you can see that in there, but you can see the panel that I used to replace inside there. That this is it right here. Okay, this is where our opening was, and that's the panel that I put in there and spot welded it in. And then of course we put the Dynaglass on the outside of it to finish the dash off. So we're basically at the stage where we've already cut our patch panel out, we've already cut our grill out, and what we want to do is fit this in here so it'll fit as good as possible that we can get it. Now we also want to look at the fact that we're going to be using filler on this patch panel. So we don't want to make it where it fits perfectly in there, because the sheet metal I'm using is the same thickness of the sheet metal of the dash. And if we butt weld that on there, then what'll happen is when we go to fill that, there's not going to be anywhere for the Bondo to feather out. Does that make sense? So instead of fitting that in there perfect, we actually want to make it a hair bigger, because what we're going to do is we're going to stick it in this hole, and then we're going to bring it up like this. You can see what I'm doing here. And we're going to pull up on that to get the right contour, and then we're going to tack weld it where it's on the underside of the dash panel itself. That way when we fill it in, it's going to give it this valley, you might call it, all the way around to feather our Bondo out. So before we do any welding at all, we want to make sure that we clean our edges up real good. We want to make sure that everything is weld ready, you might call it. And by doing that, I'm going to use my little 2-inch grinder with 36 grit, and I'm going to clean this edge really good. When you clean that edge, you want to make sure that there's no debris on the top of it. We're not worried about the surface rust right now. We're just worried about the edge where we're going to be welding to. But if we're going to put that underneath and pull up on it, we don't want anything in our way, okay, that's going to stop us. And I'm talking about little slags maybe, or little hairline sheet metal that might be hanging off of it from cutting the piece out to fit inside there. And now we're ready to go ahead and fit it in there and start spot welding it in place.
Thanks for watching D.I.Y. Automotive School. Classes don't stop till you know everything.